Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our NBA video for Thursday, December 2nd. It's only 10:24 over here in the East Coast, but I wanted to bang this out early. It's only a 5-game slate, but we like to get into the nitty-gritty and break down all of our plays. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in, and we're going to start with Draftkings as usual. We're going to start with point guard. We got DeJounte looking at us at 9,800, and he's at a good price. Why is DeJounte at a good price? DeJounte is expected for 36 minutes. DeJounte is at a 1.31 fantasy point per minute, and DeJounte is at a 26.53% usage. At under 10K, he's very close to a must play. And then on top of that, they're going against Portland, which is another plus. DeJounte is as close to a short thing as you'll ever get. $9,800 for a guy averaging 47 fantasy points, plus all the other data I just gave you. Make sure that you have lots of DeJounte Murray tomorrow night when you play. Van Fleet, a little bit cheaper. Not the fantasy point monster that DeJounte is, but Van Fleet will get the job done. I know his team is a little bit ravaged, so he should get a little bit more opportunity. So once we get through to the rest of his guys, we'll come back to him and see if he's worth it. I mean, he's a good play, but once we get to the rest of his guys, we'll see how good of a play he is. Chris Paul, tied for the best team in the league. Always has the ball in his hands, averaging 40 points, averaging 40 fantasy points per game. $8,600. Booker's going to be out. That's going to be a very good play. Against Detroit, probably gets what he needs in fantasy points in 3 quarters. Chris Paul should be sprinkled in some of your lineups. Should have a nice percentage of Chris Paul. If you're playing multiple lineups, absolutely you have Chris Paul. Lillard is going to be out also. CJ McCollum is a good play. I would find a way to get McCollum and Murray in the same lineup if you can. I know it's going to be a 5-game slate. Value is going to be limited, but if the proper value does open up, then you should be able to get McCollum and DeJounte in the same lineup and hope that the 2 bad teams just go back and forth. That's what you're hoping for. SGA 8,100, good price. Cunningham, I like because he does everything. 7,900. I mean, with Paul, McCollum, SGA so close to Cunningham, maybe he's not that great of a play today, especially going against Phoenix. He's always a good play because of his all-around ability, but for me, tonight he's a pass. Drew Holiday is fine, 7,400. Lonzo is fine. You just don't know who's going to go off. He's 7,200. That means that you need about 36 fantasy points. He could get to it, but like I said, it could be Levine, DeRozan, Vooch. It could be him. It could be Caruso. You never know. So if you want to pay $7,200 for a you never know story, good luck with that. Alec Burks is up to $7,500. Going up against Chicago, he's gonna need about 36 fantasy points. Well, he's been playing 39 minutes, and he's been given 40 and 46 fantasy points. And he's been doing a little bit of everything. Chicago is a tougher matchup, but listen, I've never really seen Alec Burks play minutes and not produce, so Alec Burks is in play. Bane is in play, as John Morant's not going to be available. Not playing Derek White, and you got Bane at $100 more, and Burks at $200 more. Tyus Jones is starting and cheaper than Bane. Not Bane. Tyus Jones is cheaper than White and starting. $5,500. He's an okay play. Caruso is fine, last man in. DeAnthony Melton off the bench with Tyus Jones starting. I don't know. 21, 15, 27, 26. If 27 and 26 fantasy points is what you're looking for, then he's absolutely fine. I'll go back to Mountain in 1 second. Let's just see what Quickly's been doing. 23, 25, 22, 26 fantasy points for Quickly. 22, 22. Now his minutes are trending upwards. Kemba Walker is not in the lineup. 31 and 38. 31 and 38 minutes. 12 shots, 11 shots. He's getting rebounds, he's getting assists. At 48. He was 48. Now he's at $5,000 for Quickly on a 5-game slate. That's tough. I'd probably rather go to Anthony Simons at $900, who's gonna start in place for Lillard. That's probably a little bit safer. Then you have Quickly, you have Rose. Like, you don't even know what's happening right now. So you got Derrick Rose is the second string. Derrick Rose is the second string shooting guard, and Quickly is the backup point guard. Okay, that's how they're doing it. So for that, Derrick Rose is fine at $4,800. If he's coming in for shooting guard, he's fine. Quickly is coming in at the backup point guard, he's fine. But I prefer Simons at $4,900. Kemba Walker is unplayable. Not touching Grayson Allen with Middleton back and Drew Holiday healthy. Killian Hayes I never touched. Corey Joseph. Corey Joseph is second string point guard. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not playing Corey Joseph coming off the bench. Campaign 4,100. He doesn't play enough minutes. I don't care about his fantasy points. 22, 18, 20, and 16. That's not enough minutes to do anything for you, unless he gets hot and hits 6 threes. But what's the likelihood of that happening? You gotta ask yourself that. What's the likelihood of this player that I'm playing at $4,000? What's the likelihood of him giving me what I need for fantasy points in 20 minutes? And if you could say it's likely, then you play him. That's all it is. You got to be able to trust your player. Alright, so we know what this is. We're not gonna call them any derogatory names. We're just gonna move on to shooting guard. Van Fleet, like I said, he's a good play. Let's just see what the rest of the team looks like. Levine, 8,800 in play. Levine's always in play. Levine can always go bonkers. So he's not the greatest play, but he's in play, especially on a 5-game slate. probably choose McCollum over him anyway. 85, a little bit cheaper. He's gonna have the ball in his hands. He's gonna be the main guy tomorrow. Spoke about Cunningham. Middleton hasn't been amazing this year, but listen, everybody can't be spectacular. Bane at 6,400, that's fine. Dort, 5,700. Dort, I like because Giddey's out. So you compare Shy with Dort tomorrow if you want to attack that game. See, when you game stack a game, you want to choose a game where the players are accessible. OKC and Memphis, you see a lot of 6,000 and 5,000s. That means that game is accessible. You take two guys going one way, bring it back with two guys coming the other way. If that game stays close, that's how you win big. Spoke about Melton. Even if you want a game stat, Melton's in play because he's only 5,100. Connaughton, not for me. Spoke about these guys. McCaleb, no thank you. Frank Jackson, no thank you. And we're done with shooting guard already. Small forward, Scotty Barnes is in play with no Anunoby, and look, his price went up. His price went up because he's a good player. That's why his price went up, and he's going to get more opportunity. You got to pay attention to the signs Draftkings is telling you. $39, $35, $37, and 38 minutes. 31, 37, 40, and 43 fantasy points. I've been on Scotty Barnes all year since preseason, so like I said, Scotty Barnes is actually let's help break this down. Scotty Barnes is a 1.19 fantasy point per minute player, and he has a 19.82 usage rate, and that's obviously going to go up with no OG, and you see he's playing in high 30s once he stays out of foul trouble. Scotty Barnes is an excellent play. Brooks is fine with no Morant. We spoke about Burks, we spoke about Dort. Mikal Bridges, his price is creeping up. He's always an okay play. Gary Trent, he's questionable. If he's playing, he's fine. Sadiq Bey is fine, but he's a risk. I mean, he's Sadiq Bey. Norman Powell, if he's playing, he's in play. RJ Barrett. Listen, you know what I say about RJ Barrett. If you put a gun to my head and told me play RJ Barrett or die, I die. Connaughton, Fournier, Colin Anderson's in play, and that's it. You gotta wait for news when it comes out. The thing is, you gotta be patient. You can put in your dummy lineups. You make your lineups early, but if you're eager to set your lineup 20 hours, 19, 18, 16, 12 hours before lock, you're going to lose. And I hate to come off like that. I hate to be this way. But you got to understand, winning lineups are made right before lock. If you make a dummy lineup, get your core in, put some placeholders in, and wait for value, your chances of being in the green go up dramatically. But if you try to make your lineup hours before lock and just think that it's going to hold up, it's not. Because you know what winning players are doing? Winning players are on Twitter and they're looking for news. And when they get news, they're going into their lineups and they're tweaking them. They're making winning lineups, and those people are the people that are on top. And the people that are on the bottom are the people that haven't touched their lineup since they made it hours ago. That's the difference. If you're listening to this and you're not tweaking your lineups 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes before lock, then that means you're not profiting in DFS. And that's why I'm here to tell you what you need to do to be successful. Let's move on. Giannis, 5-game slate, must play. Nothing to talk about. Randall, tough matchup. Always a good play. 9,500. He's cool. I'd rather go to Rosen. Almost the same productivity. $500 cheaper. But Randall is the alpha on his team. And everyone knows it. Well, DeRozan is part of an alpha duo with great help since Vooch and Lonzo Ball are the help. So Randall is technically a better play, but DeRozan is cheaper. So it almost balances out. But I'd probably go Randall. I'd probably eat the 500 and go Randall. Barnes is an amazing play. Grant is always a good play, but he's going to play the Phoenix, and they don't play that, They don't play that ish. They play defense. Jaren Jackson Jr., a good play, 7,100. Bobby Portis, 7,100. I'll probably go Jaren Jackson with no John Morant. More opportunity. Keldon Johnson, I played him twice my whole life, and he broke me both times. He could go to hell. Sadiq Bey, good play at 5,500. Paisley, 4,500. He's okay, but he's inconsistent. Kyle Anderson, questionable. I don't even know what he's been doing. Let's see what he's been doing. Nothing. 21-7, 20-18. I'll have to pass Mr. Anderson. Jay Crowder, 4,300. They're healthy. Last man in, I guess, but he's not really doing much. Probably go to Covington. He haven't been doing much either, but no Lillard, probably a few more shots. Last 4 games, 0.5, 24, 5.75, and 18.25. I mean, that's sort of that's absolutely horrendous. Larry Nance at 3,800. Last man in with no Little. Yeah, that's fine. Larry Nance Jr. is a thing because Nazir Little is out. Last man in though. Hooch 9,300. I'd rather play Siakam. Ayton, fine. Ayton is a great play. Nobody in Detroit's gonna stop him from doing what he wants to do. Ayton is almost a must play. Listen to what I'm saying. DeAndre Ayton is almost a must play at $7,600. Nurkic, how many minutes is he gonna play? Still 20s a minute. I'm cool. Jacob Poeltl, absolutely 6,100. Very, very reliable. Isaiah Stewart, I'm cool. Precious Achiuwa hasn't been productive lately. 28, 20, 17, and 10. He's on a downward trend. So he's not productive. Listen, Precious Achiuwa could go out there and have a great game. But the numbers say he most likely won't. So I'd rather play somebody that most likely will rather than most likely won't. So you guys can do whatever you like to do, but it's just me. Ken Burch is out. Precious Achiuwa should be a smash play, but unfortunately he's not. Always remember this. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Mitchell Robinson is back. Nerlens Noel, Cousins, McGee. The fact that McGee and Cousins is the same price is mind-blowing. Larry Nance is the only one here that looks feasible. And that's that about that with Draftkings. Listen, if you're new here, we break down these NBA slates every day. I don't want to go into a whole spiel because every YouTuber does it. If you're new here, subscribe, please. Hit the bell. Thumbs up the video. That helps me out with YouTube. That lets YouTube know that you appreciate the video. That helps me build the channel, and that helps circulate the video to other viewers. Thank you very much. We will continue with Fanduel. Giannis at 11,000 is a smash spot. We didn't even get there yet, but I just had to say that. DeJounte Murray, smash. Chris Paul, 8,400, almost a smash. Van Fleet with no OG, play him, 8,000. On FanDuel, you play him. Shai Gilgeous on FanDuel, you play him, in play. Levine, 7,800, in play. Drew Holiday, in play. Derek White, I'll pass. Cade Cunningham, in play. Rondo at 67, absolutely. Caruso, no. Derrick Rose, backup shooting guard. Last man in, you'll take him. D'Anthony Melton. And listen, most of the players we went over in Draftkings are going to be a yes in FanDuel because they're cheaper. So, Anthony Simons, he's priced up. You got to watch that. He's priced up, but he's still a fine play. Killian Hayes at 4,700, still won't play him. Tyus Jones, if he starts, 4,600, probably okay. Last man in. Emmanuel Quickly, 4,100, backup point guard, he's in play. Pretty sure nobody else down here. Shooting guard. Shooting guard. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I did do that. Okay. DeRozan, McCollum's a smash. Drew Holiday is a very good price, 7,500. I'll even touch Chris Middleton if you had no choice. Actually, Middleton is a very good price. He could be a staple of one of your lineups. Alec Burks also. Cade Cunningham also. Gary Trent. If he's hurt, that's fine. You got Dylan Brooks at an amazing price. Lou Dort is fine. Bane at 54 is fine. And Anthony Simons is okay, like I said. And let's jump to small forward. Like I said before, Giannis is a smash. Scotty Barnes is a must-play, 7,300. He's not a must-play. He's a borderline must-play at this price. Mikal Bridges, 59. I wouldn't play him at 6,000. I'd rather play Dylan Brooks, Lou Dort. Keldon Johnson is if you're drunk and you just don't care about your money, you play Keldon Johnson. Covington at 5,200. I'm not sure about that. I'd rather play Sadiq Bey. Larry Nance is kind of pricey. Baisley, last man in. He's streaky. Derrick Jones, no. And that's about it. There's too many good players at prices for you to sit there and dumpster dive. So, Julius Randle at 8,500 is an awesome play. Siakam is a great play. Jeremy Grant, very good. Scotty Barnes, we spoke about that. Jaren Jackson Jr., very good. Portis is good at 60. Portis is a good play. Skip Bridges. Isaiah Stewart at 5,000, last man in. Maybe. Precious Chua at $4,600. Last man in. I don't know what's going on with him though. I do not know what's going on with him. Chris Boucher, play if you want to lose. And the rest of these guys are relevant. Vooch, unfortunately, you can't play him at 8,800. You don't know if he's going to have a good game or not. You get the volume that he needs. 8 in at 7,800 is a fine play. Nurkic, playing 25 minutes a game, it's not going to cut it. Jacob Poeltl is a better play. Actually, let me explain something. Poeltl is expected for 30 minutes. Poeltl is a 1.11 fantasy point per minute player, and he has a usage rate of 17.45, which is a little bit it's a little bit over average, but his fantasy points per minute plus his minutes at his rate is a good play. It's a good price. So that's how I can tell you Jacob Poeltl is a good price. And the numbers in front of me say that. Steven Adams at 5,500, I wouldn't do. Mitchell Robinson, if you're feeling froggy. McGee, 4,700 as a backup. I don't understand. That's it for Fanduel. Fanduel, you gotta play mid range and take who you can get. But if you go too low, you're gonna be in water. If you guys are working all day, you guys are busy. If you guys need help with your lineups, close to lock, my Patreon will help you with that. If you need that advanced metrics, if you need a cheat sheet, if you need to see all your players in one spot to see what they're projected, what their rates are, what their fantasy points are, what their projected minutes for, what the usage is, that's on my Patreon. If you want access to me all day before lock, that's on my Patreon. Anything you need is on my Patreon for any sport. So if you need additional help, if you're a hardcore player, you're throwing your money in the garbage, and you want to profit, my Patreon will help you with that. Let's move on to Superdraft. Superdraft, you're playing Murray. Shai Gilgeous is fine. DeRozan, Levine, Chris Paul, McCollum. Dylan Brooks is fine. Drew Holiday is a good play. Should be a close game. Alec Burks is amazing at a 1.5. Saddiq Bey is okay. Lou Dort is fine at 1.55, but I don't like his volume. Bane is fine at a 1.65. Melton is okay at a 1.7. Quickly 1.75. And Anthony Simons is where I'll stop at a 1.8. But listen, you're playing Superdraft. I know the multipliers are enticing, but you want volume. Make sure you guys are playing high 30s a minute and taking a lot of shots. So that's why I said DeJounte Murray is a play. He's only at 1.1, but he's averaging about 48 fantasy points a game. So you always got to take that into consideration. I would start with DeJounte, McCollum, and any one of these three. DeRozan, Levine, or Paul. That's where I would start. The forward spots. Giannis, automatic. He takes the one spot. Randall is amazing. Siakam, the third spot. Or you could play Giannis, Siakam, Jeremy Grant. Scotty Barnes is in play. That's 5 players you're playing. Scotty Barnes, Jeremy Grant, Siakam, Julius Randle, Giannis, and if you like, you could play DeRozan or Levine. That's up to you. They are good plays, but I gave you the top 5. Center, you're playing Jacob Pertl, you're playing Ayton, or you could play any one of those forwards that I just said. You could put Giannis here and take another forward if you like. But I'd probably put Giannis at center, and then one of the other 4 forwards that I just mentioned. That's what I would do. Because there's no center here that blows you away. Ayton and Pertl are fine, but they really got to go out of their way to hit 50 and 60s in Superdraft. So put Giannis at center. Use the other forwards that I mentioned. And that's going to be your Superdraft lineup. That brings this video to a conclusion. I gave you plays for Draftkings. I gave you the plays for Fanduel. I gave you the plays for Superdraft. If you're new here, that's what we do. We break down these slates. Subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up the video. Let YouTube know you appreciate my efforts to help you understand DFS a little bit better. If you need anything as far as help with your lineups, I'm here to help you. My Patreon is up and running, ready to help you. And my Patreon is also customizable, towards your needs. So hit me up and let me know what you need. Other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good night. Have a good day. Hope you guys did well tonight and were profitable. I'll see you guys later. Ciao.